Yo dudes, how's it going? So today we're going to break from the norm a little bit from Dragon Ball and we're going to move on to a little bit of a heated topic since yesterday. I wanted to kind of blow this out of the water yesterday but didn't have the time. This here is my boy Henry.
What's going
He's
on, guys?
going to be making a new YouTube channel, hopefully within new timing, recent timing.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. A little bit behind, but we'll get around to that. He'll be going by more than likely what? Bravely?
Bravely.
Bravely?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna go with Bravely. Anyways, on to the topic. Xbox has canceled Scalebound. Why? I don't know. I am disappointed personally. There's a lot of mixed feelings in it. What's your take on it?
So, Microsoft had a long, heated relationship with their third parties, dating back since Bungie, really. I mean, so back in the day when Microsoft and Xbox was kicking off, they really only had Bungie to really go off of in the past. Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally bought Halo from a convention that they were visiting. Halo was originally going to be a PC-only game, and Microsoft came in and said, maybe we can start a gaming platform based off this one game alone. Xbox was then born. So Microsoft has never really had a first-party lineup, to say the least. So they've had to rely on their third parties a lot. Unfortunately, in more recent years, a lot of those third parties have been failing them. Lionhead,
and more than recently, I don't know what studio was on it, but the For Dust, I think that's what they called it.
For Dust.
For Dust. There was a remake of an old Xbox game.
The Ubisoft title, For Dust?
Yeah, I think so. They were going back in 2014 E3. They said they were going to remake it.
You're talking about Phantom Dust.
Phantom Dust. That's
Phantom
right.
Dust, yeah.
They
That was an original Xbox title that they brought out. It was a cult classic. Not too many people were on board with it, but it got some attention. Yeah, and at E3 that people were kind of excited for it. Probably one of the reasons why it didn't pan out is because of a lot of the just not enough marketing. Nobody knew what it was.
No, I honestly I had no idea what the heck the game was about, and they said it was a remake or a reimagining or whatever, and it just looked nice at E3, and then I think it was maybe a year later they canceled it. They didn't really show too much. I think we saw one trailer and a itty bitty little amount of gameplay, which was some random third person action with some magic in it. But I mean, that's not the only game they've canceled since then, too.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Project Spark? That just literally went down in flames. It was going good for a while, and then they just, bam, gone. You're done.
It was so great. Project Spark had a lot of promise. I mean, creative games in general, pretty much were exploding at the time. I mean, you have Minecraft and everything else, and just a lot of developers wanted the players to get their hands on these creative tools to make their own adventures and games, for that matter. It's just Microsoft didn't want to commit fully to their product, and that's why we're here today. Really, is because Microsoft is afraid of commitment. They really are. Microsoft is afraid of commitment when it comes to their third party titles.
That's being shown.
And first party sometimes too.
Yeah, that's being shown quite a bit right now, and honestly, I mean, not looking at the business aspect, not looking at it from what they probably are looking at as a consumer, as one that would be buying it, I'm very disappointed. They haven't marketed Scalebound that much,
mm-hmm.
but what I've seen, I keep looking at it, and I'm like, I really want to dive into that.
Right.
But yeah.
And at the end of the day, you still got to look at it as Microsoft being a business. They are a big business, for sure. they're all about that dollar bill. At the end of the day.
Okay, but I guess the only question I'm really thinking is right now is, where do you draw the line of where you're gonna protect your business, or are you gonna really push forward for what you've promised.
Right, exactly. I mean, and there's a lot of backdoor stuff that we don't really understand. They probably won't release to us ever. I mean, the same stuff happened with Lionhead with Fable Legends and
Yeah, there was a lot of random talking amongst both sides where they were trying to protect themselves and so forth. But
I mean, so Scalebound as a product, let's bring it present right now. Scalebound as a product, how many trailers did it have? Like how much did they actually show for the game?
I want to say at least, obviously the 2014 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it at 2015,
Mm-hmm.
and they showed it again at 2016, and that was mainly for the reason of it had a release date at that point, I believe, and they pushed it back, and then they couldn't give a release date. So I'd say we had a total of at least 3 trailers and 2 different gameplay alpha footages.
Right.
At least that I remember. I could be wrong.
And Microsoft being the publisher now, at the same time, they had Halo 5 going on. They had Gears of War 4 coming up. They had all their rock solid, first party titles going forward. They weren't really too focused on their third parties that much. That can only last so long, considering compared to a company like Nintendo that has like tons and tons and tons of first parties that they can just rely on because they've been staples for 10 decades now. Microsoft only has like a couple.
Only a couple, and they've only been kind of degrading over the years. That's the worst part about it, I believe.
Right, because you got 343 now, you got the Coalition, you got Ensemble now with their strategy games and the upcoming Halo Wars. They own that. They still own Lionhead.
Yeah, they do. They did actually talk about it in a couple of
Twitter
posts.
Dissolved it. I mean, it's gone.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
they own the name, but the studio itself is
Kaput.
toast.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said. I mean, you've shown just about everything you could say from Microsoft's end. Or hell, even maybe... we could dive a little deeper and go into Platinum's side. But
Microsoft has very big ambitions. That's one thing my final thoughts on Microsoft. They have very big ambitions, and they're not afraid of throwing them out there. But at the same time, they gotta know how to backpedal, and they've done that in multiple fronts, not just with their games, but with their hardware too. I mean, look at what happened with the Xbox and their only online stuff. They changed that real fast. So hopefully we will see a resurgence of more confidence in their third parties moving forward.
According to a text from Phil Spencer, that he seems pretty confident, saying it was a difficult decision and that it's better for the Xbox gamers, but it's still disappointing. He's confident in 2017's lineup.
Okay.
What?
Well, then,
just before we close this, what could he possibly be confident in 2017's lineup that is Xbox exclusive?
Xbox exclusive. The only thing that comes to mind is probably not a new Gears of War, but definite. We're probably going to see Halo, something from Halo at
There's Halo
at E3.
Wars.
Halo Wars, obviously, yes.
All right.
Still, it's an RTS, very very niche market there.
Yeah. At least for console gamers.
Yeah, especially for console gamers. But like, you got Crackdown 3, supposedly coming out this year.
That's next on the list of possibly getting tanked right now. So far, the only thing they've kept up from 2014 is Call of Duty, Forza, and I believe there was Dead Rising 3 at the time. They were releasing DLC, saying, yeah, we're going to have all this awesome DLC the next day, and that was it.
Right, well, not even Call of Duty now. I mean, that's Activision. Activision's all for
I know, but back in
PlayStation.
Back in 2014,
Yeah, 14,
that's what the whole hype around a lot of their stuff was back in 2014. That's what I'm trying to focus on a little bit.
Yeah.
E3 is the time of the year where every gamer goes and watches it. They expect all of everything that's to be said to be promised.
Right.
And at this point, about 70% of their E3 from then has been canceled.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So-
because that's like I was about to say is a lot of the other third parties have kind of like moved over to PlayStation as far as their main platform of choice.
Crap happens, apparently.
Yeah. They might be able to maybe something from Bethesda this year, maybe Elder Scrolls. Crossing fingers.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely apparent that Microsoft has to step up its third party support.
Well, if I don't get to play Scalebound, I'm going to be playing Zero Dawn. So
I mean, maybe that's what Microsoft needs that competition push to to really get their heads out of their asses.
right. All right. Well, you guys have heard it. You've heard the business perspective, and you've heard the just personal feelings perspective. So, tell us what you think in the comments below, and well, let's hope something else comes out of Xbox.